So this is going to be the first in a series of rehab videos for my right dominant wrist fracture. So essentially it was a complex multiple break of both the ulnar and distal radius of my right wrist, and it involved 2 plates and I believe 20 screws in total, following a severe motorbike crash, so I had a lot of soft tissue damage as well. Now I want to get this right, the date, so it's the 18th of September today. The accident took place on the 9th of August, and I didn't have surgery because they needed a specialist surgeon, which took a while for them to come in. So I was in the hospital from the 9th and then had the surgery on Monday the 11th of August. 2 weeks, immediately following the surgery I was put in a half cast, and I had my wrist elevated hanging on a thing by my bed in the hospital. So that half cast was removed on the 25th of August, exactly 2 weeks after the operation, and from the 25th up to the 18th of September, now, today, I've basically been given a removable splint, NHS issue, which looks like this. You can also get them on Amazon if your doctor or whatever doesn't give you one, which I wore continuously for probably the first week. After that I didn't feel like I needed it so much, and to be honest it got quite irritating on this bone here. I think this is the ulna, I'm not sure. So I didn't wear it as much, and now I don't really wear it much unless I'm going out, more to signify to people that my wrist is broken, so they take more care when they're standing near me, I suppose. So when the cast was removed, that's when I started physio. I was referred to the occupational therapist immediately, and I've been given exercises to do since then. So what I'm going to do now is cut in a video of 1 week after the cast removal to show you what my mobility was like then. So I'm going to put that in now, and that will show you, as I said, what my wrist could do after 1 week of physio. So now you've seen that, I'll just show you what my wrist can do now, and I will say progress is very, very slow. So now it's been 1, 2, 3. Now it's been 3 weeks and 3 days since the half cast was removed. So 5 weeks and 3 days since the surgery. So these are the exercises I've been told to do. So that's for thumb and finger mobility, and then you glide your thumb down the small finger. Tendon gliding exercises, which is basically this. Making fists, like that, but don't just go like that. Like I was told to do it slowly, like that first, and then roll over like that and do a fist. Just like that. Back and forth, so this is my mobility for back and forth movement, and it's really not much. In fact, I'll use my good wrist to compare. So that's what I can do currently. And then this way, that might be better. To be fair, that's not too bad. It's getting a bit better. But when I go like that, it feels much, much harder. You can see the difference there, look. So, not much mobility at all. Again, I can't really turn this hand any more than that. And then that's about as far as I can go, which sucks. And then this kind of movement, that's all I can do currently. So I was basically told to do 5 to 10 reps about 5 times a day of basically this. So you push down to the point where it's uncomfortable but not painful, and hold it for about 10 seconds, and then come up and do the same 5 times, 5 sets of 10 seconds, and then do the same going back like this, and then the same twisting the wrist this way and this way, and these ways as well, like those ways, which is very tight. And then same with this, like 5 to 10 fists 5 times a day. So yeah, progress is slow. It hurts on and off. It tends to hurt more at night. For the first 3 weeks I had, well, after the crash, I must have really damaged one of the nerves. I think it's called the ulnar nerve. It's the nerve that runs up here and supplies sensation to these 2 fingers, your ring and your pinky. So for the first 2 or 3 weeks I was getting like a stabbing pain right here in this palm, which was really, really painful, and nothing seemed to help. And pins and needles and loss of sensation in these 2 fingers. As it stands now, the stabbing pain has gone, thank God, from this area of the palm, but it's still quite numb. I don't have the same sensation at all as I do on this side. It almost feels like there's a thick layer of dead skin, but it just feels wrong. And the same with these fingers, that it's not as bad as it was, but they just don't feel right. It kind of feels like there's a tight rubber band on the base of each finger, cutting the blood supply off. That's what it feels like. But strength-wise, there's no diminished strength in the fingers, which is the main thing, because that would indicate a severed nerve as opposed to a bruised or stretched nerve. So I'll show you the scars. 2 incisions, because there's 2 plates. It's going to be hard to even show, but there's one of them. You get the idea. For anyone interested, I'm in the UK, so my surgery was done on the NHS at Coventry Hospital, which is one of the major trauma hospitals in the UK. There's not that many of them either. I think there's about 6. There's the other scar. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe I'm bruising it, I don't know, but it's a bit redder than everywhere else. The other thing I've been told to do, and I was told 2 weeks after the half cast was cut off, I was told to do massage for 3 minutes twice a day. You can use any non-scented moisturizer and just use a finger or 2 and go in circular patterns like this. You want enough pressure to where the fingertip goes white, kind of like that. So not light, not really hard. Just massage up and down the scar, 3 minutes for each scar. And what that does is it prevents the scar from adhering to the underlying tissues. That's the last thing you want. If the scar starts to adhere, instead of being flat like this on the surface, it will dip down like that, which means it's stuck itself to the underlying tissues. So when you're trying to mobilize your wrist, the scar tissue is going to prevent that, because it's basically glued itself to the underlying sinews and tendons and whatnot. So you really need to be massaging the scar to prevent it adhering underneath. So I have a plate right here and a plate here. In fact, I'll flash up an image of the plates, the X-ray. This X-ray was taken 2 weeks after the surgery, so obviously there's no bone remodeling at that point, because it's only been that was taken only a month after the op. It's going to be at least 3 months for the bone to heal to a good standard. So yeah. A couple of things I would definitely recommend you get are scar tape. That's what I've got on here. Typically one strip will last you at least 3 days, maybe longer if you look after it. Comes in a roll, just like this, and you just cut some off, stick it on the scar, and what that does is it keeps it supple, it keeps the scar flat, and it stops it getting red, raised and angry. So you want to just keep this on at all times, really. Another thing, as I said, for the massage you can use moisturiser, but to kill two birds with one stone, I got some of this. I know the video is mirrored, but it's advanced silicone scar gel. So it's a very lubricating scar gel you can apply and rub on the scars instead. I also use this here because I've had jaw surgery following my motorbike accident, because tape would be very finicky to stick on there. And also the other scars I got from the accident here, so you can see they look a bit shiny. That's because I'm using this. So I'd recommend both. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can get those. So the hospital also gave me this, which is just, it's kind of like a compression sleeve, which I wear most of the time. It also gives the wrist a bit of support, and it stops that scar tape from coming off, because if you look, it just covers it and holds it down. I'm probably going to get this replaced because I got physio today, and you tend to get sweaty and get marks on them, so you should replace them. So yeah, I'll just do, I don't know about weekly updates, but maybe fortnightly updates just to measure my progress. So once again, I'm just going to show what I can do now. It's hard to kind of get myself in frame fully, but it'll give you some idea, and it'll give myself some idea of what I can and can't do. So then I can refer back to these videos myself to see what kind of progress I've made. I think I just pulled that a little bit hard actually. Really not much back to forth movement at all. One thing I wasn't told to do but I've been doing is basically finger stretching as well. So I use this hand to see what I should be able to do and then compare with this hand. So these kinds of movements, which to begin with were very difficult, but the more I've done it, the better I've got. For example, I couldn't do a middle finger with this hand, and then after a few days I can now do one. So same with the peace sign. This hand sign was very hard to do as well for a while, but now I can do it. And then I just do quite a bit of thumb mobility as well, basically just doing this. And I can tell my grip strength is very, very weak, so what I've also bought is one of these. The problem with this is even on its lowest setting I can't squeeze it with this wrist, so for now I'm only doing it on my left wrist to kind of maintain some grip strength. It's also crazy how quickly I lost muscle after the accident. After like 3 weeks, I'll show you the imbalance now, and there's nothing I can do about it because I can't work out, but maybe you'll see. But that's the difference, look. Not terrible, and I guess it will come back over time, but that is a massive difference. I've lost so much muscle in the bicep, tricep, shoulder, trap, everything. Even the forearm, so I've got quite a juicy forearm on the left, and on the right there's practically nothing there, look. So there's nothing you can do about it. You're gonna lose muscle, you just have to get over it and build it back again when you can, but I'm still very early in the process, so yeah, this is my journey, and I'll post regular updates and we'll see how we go. So cheers. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try and get back to you. So have a good one.